unity is the most fundamental trait of reality and therefore serves as the only acceptable measuring stick for ethical behavior, for moral normativity. In the previous video, we established the first axiom of metaethics, the ethics of metaphysical congruence, being that reality and awareness are the non-optional, non-arbitrary ground of ethics. We established reality and awareness understood in their thinnest possible way. Reality as the fact that something is, something it obtains, and awareness equally minimally as the fact that experience occurs. And we identified these non-optional structures as non-optional, non-arbitrary, and therefore, if we want ethics to have any kind of ethical authority, any punch behind it, it needs to be grounded in something non-arbitrary, solving therefore the grounding problem in moral philosophy. Now here in this video, we are going to talk about the second axiom of metaethics, which is a natural question that follows from the first axiom. What is then the most fundamental trait of these non-optional fields of reality and awareness? And the answer is unity, structural coherence. And here we are going to define it and defend it. We're not going to yet derive any kind of moral normativity from it, although we will so in the third axiom. For now, we will establish unity as the fundamental trait. First, we clarify what we mean by unity. We do not mean sameness. We do not mean homogeneity. We do not mean conformity. By unity, we mean the coherence, the lawful togetherness that makes distinguishable things distinguishable in a relational order. In reality, meaning the physical world, this is manifested, unity, structural coherence is manifested as operational interdependence. Things are distinguishable and they relate to each other. That can only happen in a unified field. In awareness, this is manifested as phenomenal coherence. Experiences arise and they are relatable. They are not simply unrelated pieces, fragments. And now we clarify what we mean by fundamental trait. We do not mean causality or temporal priority. We mean structural priority. Unity can or be or not the cause of everything else, of other traits in the universe. It can come prior or not. That's a separate discussion and a not important discussion in my estimation. Here, just to be clear, we mean by fundamental trait as something that has structural priority, structural primacy over any other trait. Now, having said that, we now establish why unity is the fundamental trait of reality and awareness. And we will do so in a very basic, very simple manner with two arguments. The first argument is a transcendental one, the same that we applied in the first axiom. That is that to deny or doubt unity and to deny unity as the fundamental trait can only happen in a unified, coherent field. Denial, the act or position of denial can only happen in contrast with something that is denied, unity. And that contrast is only possible in a unified field. The same thing can be said for doubt or anything else. So this is the same argument that we made to establish reality and awareness as non-optional. Because to deny reality or doubt awareness can only be done in reality, in awareness. So it follows then that the most fundamental fruit of reality and awareness, which is unity or structural coherence, would inherit from it the same properties. Therefore, the same argument can be done. And the second and last argument that we're going to make is a comparative one. We are going to compare reality, or rather unity, to any other candidate. So in reality, we can think of other traits of reality unavoidable, like time and space and energy and many other things, entropy, information, and so on. All these other candidates presuppose and necessitate a unified structural coherent field in order to be meaningful. Space, for something to be distinguishable as here and there, can only happen in an already unified coherent field. The same thing can be said for any other quality. Entropy, anything, already presupposes unity. The same thing can be done or said for awareness. Any other trait of awareness, qualia, temporal continuity, first-person perspective, and so on, can only happen and be meaningful and distinguishable by implying or necessitating a unified, coherent field. In other words, you can choose or pick a fundamental trait in reality and awareness and imagine if that thing or that event, that phenomenon, can take place in a non-unified field. So we have established unity, structural coherence, as the most fundamental trait, having structural primacy over any other trait in reality and awareness. This means that and this is to close, this means that any discourse, including moral discourse, that happens in this reality and awareness field is junior to the fundamental structural trait of unity. And this means that if we want to avoid arbitrariness in our moral evaluations, moral ethical evaluation, intentions and behaviors need to be and can only make sense if they are measured or put against this trait, unity.